All right, so today I want to talk about putting in the work. So for the past 3 days, I was on site at a client and there was just a lot of stuff to do. And every day I basically had to prepare the night before. And during the day, I had like 2 to 3, like 3 hour presentations to do in front of the client and just like go over the process and understand the requirements and stuff like that. And the one thing I realized, well, actually, let me take a step back and say that out of the one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, I think I had around 7 presentations in the past 3 days, and there were like two of them that I think went really, really well. And when I look back to why that happened, it's because the night before, I spent way more time on that particular process area, really understood it, took the time to do as many flowcharts as possible so that in the meeting, I basically just went through all the flowcharts one after one after one, presented to the client, and then we could talk through them. The ones that went not as well, and again, like I think overall it was pretty good, but the ones that I didn't spend as much time on was definitely not as good. And what that made me realize is I feel that nowadays, and I think especially me, for like the longest time, I've always tried to like find hacks on how to increase my productivity. Like, oh, like, like let's do time blocking or do this and do that. And like we're always trying to find ways, I find nowadays, to increase like your efficiency on how to do things better and in less time than what you're supposed to do. And I feel that sometimes you just have to do the work. Like yesterday, and obviously I don't prescribe this to anyone. I don't think I should be doing this, and it's not even sustainable. But I basically worked until 5:30 a.m. to prepare for today's presentations, and it was probably my best presentation I've done. And that's just because like I put in 5 hours at the very least. I mean, I was preparing for two presentations, but so maybe like 3 4 hours for one presentation, and then 2 hours for me the other one. And the one where I went through as much flowcharts as possible, and the one that I spent the most time on yesterday, was my best presentation. And that's just something that I think you just can't do. And I think it's very similar to what I'm doing for these videos as well. Is that I'm spending maximum maybe like 10 to 20 minutes per day just filming my videos. And I feel that the quality of my videos represent that. A lot of the times I still don't have an outline like today or yesterday, or not as complicated, I guess. I don't put any time to edit stuff. And I feel if I would put more time into these videos, then you would see an increase in quality, and it would make a significant difference, I think, overall in the amount of views, the amount of quality of my videos, the amount of, the way that I speak, and the clarity in my videos would definitely increase if I just put in the time. And I'm not saying this is bad. Like, again, my goal for these videos that I'm doing is not necessarily to get that quality. I think what I need now is to get the consistency, which is something that I'm working on, and not necessarily the quality. I think the quality will come afterwards. But I think the combination of seeing the quality of my videos, but also seeing what happens when you do put in a lot of time and you see the results, I just think that sometimes you just need to put in a lot more time than you think. Very similar to my writing is that I know that if I spend 6 hours on like an essay, it's going to be way better than something I try and like just write in for 30 minutes. So I guess like where I'm getting at is that there definitely are ways for you to increase your productivity, to be more efficient with your time, and to get as much done as possible. But I think in the long term, you can't take away putting in the work. Regardless, like, is it possible to like put in, let's say you only have, 10 15 hours a week to put towards filming videos or making content or something like that. Is it possible to maximize that time? Definitely, there's a lot of ways to do that. But I do think that you have to spend that amount of time if you actually want to go anywhere. If you're only going to spend 10 to 20 minutes a day filming videos, and I'm not putting in more time eventually to try and learn, let's say, how to edit properly, or I don't want to spend more time on like drafting my outline a bit better, then I'm never going to go anywhere. And that's something that I realized today is like, really, you just need to put in the time to get better. And that's something that you just can't skip. So that's it for today. Peace.